Hello everyone. I would like to welcome to you guys in my demonstration Capstone project today. But before that, I would like to take this chance and introduce myself. I am Emaan AlDosari. I graduated from King Saud University in Management Information System related to business administration. And before I entered this bootcamp, I take certification in Internet of Things and I ended with the project called the Smart Traffic System. And one of the reasons that I enter cybersecurity OT is merged with the IoT and understand how to secure this area. So that is a little bit about me. Let me start about our demonstration. So our content I will cover about what is SIM, and I divided my work to plan A, B, and C. So we need to know more about what is SIM. As we know, day after day, a cyber attacker breaking into network just like your disguise themselves as an employee and delete their track as they go with the time against you. And with the antiquated tool, it can taking like an average of over 8 months of the filter through such a massive volume of data and in order to detect and contain the attack. So here is our attacking. He giving our message with the evil laugh. They are taking a long time to tracking me. So how to solve this problem? So from here is the same solution coming up in the market. SIM is the security information and event management. So SIM is going to combine all the security and event and security information management system into one single tool that can use from the security operations center. And this is going to allow us to provide real-time monitoring of the system and log as well as automation a lot of stuff for us to giving alert notification when someone go wrong to get outside the baseline. And some of example of the same like Alien Vault and Splunk and IBM QRadar. And all these great tools that you should look into. And your organization is properly already using one of them. Now, SIM is going to perform all this data aggregation and correlation function for you. So if I am asking what is data aggregation is coming or is going to combining data from various network device, service and application from across your enterprise network. So for example, if I have a DHCP server, I have DNS server, and I have a router, firewall, and IDS. All of these things can get their data put it into the central of the SIM, and that is going to aggregate it or combine it all together. So I can search it from one place. Now this also giving us a great ability to do data correlation. Let's say I thought that I had attack happen at 4 a.m. If I had to go through search every single router, switch, IDS, firewall, and server for the logs, that will take me a long time. Let alone the fact that I gonna have to correlate them and figure out when was 4 a.m. On all this device. Well, with the data correlation inside of the SIM, it automatically is going to look for common tube or event across all of monitored portion of the network. It's going to put their time into UTC clock based on, for example, Arabia Standard Time AST, time through Saudi Arabia, which means everything is going to be at time at that. I can use that all devices are using central clock, make it easier for us to create those events, right? And now again, this is the idea of using the SIM, making our life so much easier as security professional. This SIM can also use it to perform regularity audit and fairness analysis. So we can collect the log for them and make reports for them. So SIM are really useful tools for this area. And there is another tool you are going to get comfortable with using, like security analysis in real world. This tool helping us sniffing through mounting of log and mounting of data that we receive it from all network device. And that makes sense of all determining whether or not we have a breach in the security. For my Capstone project, I am going with the SIM tool called IBM QRadar. The IBM QRadar Security Intelligence Platform is designed to automatically identify and analyze a threat area in the attack circle, providing you with the necessary time to respond. Using advanced analytic and machine learning, it automatically analyzing log and follow data across multiple environments to detect suspicion event in real time. At the beginning of our Capstone project, we installed the QRadar. That is my phase one, is making sure is installed. Then we start the Capstone project on 9 of March. The second step was installing the WinCollect. WinCollect related to the Windows system. For both phase 1 that I have successfully installation. And my second phase was in 10, 11, 12 of March is understand how to use the QRadar and how to deal with it. And phase 3 was in 13 of March. That was my plan A, and unfortunately plan A doesn't work with me because the idea is using two Raspberry Pi. One of them is Kali and one of them for attack. Then I going to the second plant. Phase 4 also doesn't work with me. Plan B was trying to reading the log from the Ubuntu Linux. I facing a lot of error in this phase. So phase 5 was in 14 and 15 of March was successful plan and I can reading the log from Windows machine. So at the phase 6 was in 16 of March is the milestone of this project is understanding SIM tool and how to read the log and how to respond. So that is the timeline of my Capstone project, how I am going through. So let me start. I will going to start with the successful plan. For my successful plan, I using the QRadar system and I using the Windows machine. And I using the attack by using the Kali Linux, that attack called Fat Rat by using the backdoor. Plan C. So at the beginning, I installed the Fat Rat in my Kali Linux. Here's some step of my installation. And here where I going with how to use the backdoor. So I using the number 6 of the tool. Where is it calling creating FUD backdoor by using the BWN Windows, that means the BW shell. Then I going with the number 2 step, creating a file by using exe. Then I defined the L host of the target. Then I defining the port and the name of the file. I name it by the Emaan edit.exe. Then I using going with the number 3 here. Windows meter refers to the TCP. So that all the step of how to making this file. So after that I send it to the target machine. After that the file is saving in the root of my system. So I will using this command to transfer the file into my home or desktop system. Then I will move it to the var www.html. So when I going to the target machine, I putting the IP address with the name of the file. Right, in this step, I'm making run in Metasploit, then going to my machine and install the file like what you're seeing here. That is my IP address and the name of the file. So when first time I install it, I facing error because the firewall was on. So I close it and close the virus detection. You're going to the files and threat protection and make sure it is off. So that is all the steps going here. So now it is work. So I will reading the data from the QRadar. And make the process again and again to collect more data. And one of thing to make sure is it true, you're going to the rule and make sure some rule is true to enable to collect the log from that. And one of thing I downloaded is the Exchange to see the dashboard of the target. And that will extend custom rule and search and remote and making when seeing the dashboard, making easier to read. So here is the Exchange is installed. I'm using two Exchange. One of them is Linux and one of them for Windows. Second step, I install the sysmoon in my Windows to collecting data because when I am making the target, making the attack, I cannot reading the attacker log. So sysmoon helping me to reading this log. So here is the two slide is explaining about how to install sysmoon. After that installation of the sysmoon, I'm making another test to reading the data. So here show me is collecting the data. Let me go with the biggest size. Yeah. So it's showing me here is the servicity is number 6, which mean is unsecure or is more than critical. So exploit or attack type activity detected from the source IP followed by the host activity within 15 minutes, and that is explaining of the attack. It show me here the how much is critical and the from where is exploited. After I am receiving this log of this attack, I return to my Windows to turning on the Windows Defender to delete the Trojan file or the backdoor file. So here is automatically from the Windows Defender is deleting my file. With the QRadar sending the log is called, I will show you here, by the name agent device Windows log, and the message updated here from the Windows Defender is successfully happened, and that what happened in my system is deleting the file. So that is my phase 5. I called it plan C is successfully work with me. So that is summary of the attack and the timeline of the plan. And the most challenge I was facing in this phase is the lack of my PC and waiting from the log to coming to the QRadar. That was the most challenge for me. Alright, right now I would like to sharing with you the challenge that I faced from the beginning. At the beginning for the plan A and B, for this plan does it not work with me. I will give you the brief summary of the idea of plan A. Plan A I divided to the two sections, 1 and 2. For section 1, the idea was using the two Raspberry Pi. One of them is making a SIM in a Raspberry Pi by using the Snort, and another one is using the system Linux by the node RED by Kali Linux, and connecting that with the sensor like soil sensor and HMI sensor and the alert sensor, and how the attacker get the access to the sensor and playing with the alarm. So that is the idea of plan A. For plan A number 2, the idea was using the QRadar system with the system Kali Linux connected with the Node-RED. The same idea here, but the attack will come from the Raspberry Pi. So in plan 2, I installed Kali Linux and Raspberry Pi. So let me explain more here. Some screenshot that I take it for the plan A. I install Kali Linux and Raspberry Pi. I use the 64 gigabyte and I install Snort and facing a lot of error in this phase. So I stop in this point because the error. For plan 2, I using the Raspberry Pi as a remote desktop, and I use the syslog to trying to connect with the QRadar, and here the code of the syslog and does not work with me. I use the destination and called it QRadar to the network of the QRadar with the port 514 with the transport UDP, and the log source using the filter for authentication and the destination to the QRadar. I try many idea in this plan and does it not work with me. After that, I going to the plan P. Plan P was trying to read the log from the Ubuntu Linux. I have a target Ubuntu Linux in my VirtualBox, and I'm trying to read that to the QRadar. So I entered the remote syslog and I edit this line at the IP of the QRadar with the port 541, and just I restart the syslog again, and does not work with me also. And there is some picture or screenshot of the step I take it. Then I decide to use the syslog-ng. For the first one was the remote syslog, and this one for the syslog-ng. I enter as a root and going to the file called var/log. Then I install the syslog in this area, and after that I added this line, the destination of the QRadar, the same line that I added it in the Raspberry Pi, and I try it. If it doesn't work, it does not work with me. Here the some step that I take it, and I'm trying to use the QRadar to see if the log come from the Ubuntu or not. So no result with me. And I give it another try. I changing the code at the end by using the internal of the system. Let me zoom. So that is my last code that I entered to the syslog-ng, also giving me this error. Job for syslog failed because the control process exceed with the error code. So I stop in this area and I going to the using the Windows system. So at the end, I successfully doing the phase 5 plan C by using a Windows system by attacking using the fat drive. So the milestone of the phase 6 was 16th of March, understanding SIM tool and how to read the log and how to respond. And at the end, I would like to thank you guys for your effort, for your time. It is really highly appreciated for me. And thank you so much for giving us this opportunity, giving us to enter this webcam. Thank you for SDA, and thank you for coding Dogo. And thank you so much, guys. And that is all the idea of my demonstration. I hope you enjoy with my Capstone project. Please feel free if you have any question. Thank you.